Alright, welcome to another episode. Back again working on the CupHead control panel. I did find the black buttons that I want to use for player 1 and 2 start here. I also did pick up a piece of plexi. I'm kind of bummed though. It's 24 inches wide. I thought this control panel was 23 3/4, but if we line it up here we can see it's about 1/8 of an inch short on each side, but unfortunately we're gonna have to roll with it for now. It's not that bad, it's not that far off. It is a little annoying, but I think once it's on the cab and once we have T-molding and everything on there, it won't be as bad. So I've got this piece of plexi here I'm going to try to cut to fit the control panel as well as that marquee. So I did buy an acrylic knife, so I'm going to go ahead and line these up, get some measurements, and start trimming these guys and seeing if I can't get this at least cut and then hopefully get the holes cut out on it with the Dremel on here as well as up here. So that is what we are working on tonight. Jared's coming up to help me work on Creature as well. So we'll pick it up once we get some of this stuff cut. Alright, so we got the plexi cut here for the marquee. As you can kind of see, it's got about 1/8 of an inch on each side, which does suck, but it's fine for now. We'll come back eventually and get some other plexi cut for it. I grabbed the wrong size, but I wanted to make do with what we have. And I also got this plexi cut here that I'm working on for the control panel. You can see here it kind of fits like so. It's dirty right now and it's in the process of getting cut and everything, but it will fit similar, having a little 1/8 inch on the side like that. So pretty good. I'm going to clean up that edge a little bit, but the hard part about these plexis is stuff like this where you have to cut holes for the corners. I'm in the process of doing that now, and then I'm going to do the same thing for these holes here, and then you put a Dremel in and kind of with a cone bit and kind of go down and widen them up until they fit. So that's what I'm working on tonight. Hopefully I can get this done and cut out and good to go for the new art and everything. But plexi's not fun and it takes forever. I'm sorry, acrylic. And then Jared's over here looking at my Creature driver board. We think one of the bridge rectifiers is not grounded out or something, so we're in the process of checking schematics and running jumpers. But the main focus of today's video is more work on the old CupHead here. Alright, so we got the 4 corner holes cut, and I got them kind of countersunk. They're kind of cloudy. I haven't heated them up and cleaned that up yet, but again, right now I'm just trying to get everything lined up so we can cut these guys here. As you can see from the light, they're not cut yet, but getting everything lined up. I'm going to get these 4 screws on, held on the corners, so we can start cutting the big holes. Alright, so we've got a couple of the hat buttons sitting in here. You guys can kind of see they're nice and flush here on the control panel. It's getting late, so I'm probably not going to drill anymore tonight just because it's kind of loud, but you can see here they fit pretty well into the control panel. So we've got, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 14 more to do. Yeesh. Yeesh. But this weekend we're going to get this finished up, hopefully get the new art in. We got to cut the top part there for the start buttons to fit. And then I am building wiring harnesses, so that'll be later in this video with the pink Tech Flex and all that stuff. So this is pretty much the start of the control panel. We got that done, and also up here, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but we've got the plexi on the marquee as well. So making progress. This weekend it's going to look almost done, hopefully. Don't hold me to that. I know it's the CupHead series, but we got this running again. One of my favorite games of all time. We got? Yeah. So Jared's actually filming now, and he put quite a bit of work into this. I wanted to show this to you guys. Obviously, if you're at Free Play Florida, you'll see it. But look at this freaking side art. Like, look how amazing this turned out. Like, it's so good. It's absolutely incredible. This is just a test piece we have sitting here to kind of see how it will stick to the current side of it. We're still going to go ahead and paint this, and then I'm going to wet sand kind of the top coat of it, and then probably put some clear on it, let that dry, and then put some additional glue just so I make sure it sticks. But we're thinking we're probably going to put it like, probably something like this. You know, obviously straighter. This is kind of just like an idea, but putting it something like that so it fits on the cab well. Initially I thought maybe about doing this, but then obviously the front part would stick over quite a bit. So maybe that. It actually would fit there. Oh no, here it wouldn't though. I don't know, we'll play with it, we'll figure it out, but I think we designed it to fit here though. Or something like that. I don't know, we'll figure it out, but basically this just looks absolutely freaking stunning. Like, it is so, I'm so happy with how this came out. Rob vectored some of the art, and Jared kind of, we were at a shop playing around and kind of put it on there, and I said, oh, it kind of looks like Donkey Kong art, and then he made this whole like outline thing and had like the hands kind of come out a little bit. Really adds to it. It's freaking awesome. And then the other piece is actually flipped, so the cups are on the other side, and then the hand is here. You know, the image is flipped, so it kind of looks different on either side. But this is absolutely amazing, man. I absolutely cannot wait to get this freaking thing on the cab. It's so good, man. I can't thank you enough. And now we actually have to finish playtesting this guy over here. So, you know, it sucks. It's a rough job, but someone's got to do it. So we're going to go check it out. All right, back for another day of CupHead work. We're going to try to get a bunch done today. Really got to get this thing done. Free play is in less than a week. So, going to finish up the control panel. Hopefully get the T-molding slot cut. And then also Christy's coming up in a little bit to help me repaint. Probably going to pull the coin door for that as well. Hopefully cut the back door and hopefully get the cab looking and playing like a cab. The thing that's going to take the most time is going to be this control panel and then building the harnesses. But luckily I've got my heat shrink here, so we're going to be sitting down here in a little bit and soldering a bunch. So stay tuned. Where we left off, we've only got the 2 holes cut right now. We've got to cut the rest of them today. So we're going to pull this off and slowly with the Dremel get through all of these holes and get the T-molding slot cut. So we'll check back in once all of these are cut and drilled out. Alright, halfway done. We got all 6 buttons, a start button and the joystick on that side. So now we have to go over to Mugman and get him drilled out. So some people asked me basically how I do these holes and things on the control panel. Basically what you do is you just take a normal drill bit here. But what I normally do is go backwards. So I'm going to try to drill a hole here. But rather than going forward into the plexi where this will pull it, what I actually do is kind of press on it and go backwards. And what that does is it heats up. It heats up the plexi where the drill is going. And it allows the heat from the drill bit to actually press through and make a clean hole. So we're almost through. You feel it start to sink in and then it goes through. There we go. So by doing that, we get a clean hole. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the Dremel. As you can see all the plexi that's built up on here. It's kind of hot here. Get some of that off there. And then basically we're just going to take it. I'm going to try to film it so you can actually see it. I will shut the audio off because this tool's really loud, but basically we're going to take the Dremel, push it through this hole here, and same principle. This is really spinning. It's like a sandpaper bit, but it's kind of rough, and the spinning of it heats up, and it's actually going to melt around where we Dremel. So we Dremel out to the outer ring of the buttonhole, and we're going to leave off with a nice clean hole like this. Let's check it out. And there we go. Now we have a hole here. And what I always do to make sure we're good is I'll take a button, kind of just put it here, see if it fits. And there we go. That button now fits in there. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Yep, 4 left, and the control panel will be done. We'll go ahead and strip it off and keep it moving.
Alright, all the holes are cut on this guy. Took forever, but you can see here they're all cut. That's a bunch of little plexi dust underneath, so we're going to go ahead and pull the plexi off. I'm going to go ahead and take a file and just kind of clean those holes up, make sure they're perfectly good, no jaggeds. And then we're going to go ahead and cut this slot for the T-molding, and then we are on to wiring. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into this. This has taken way too long, but I'm glad I don't have to hear the Dremel for any longer today, hopefully. But there's the control panel cut out. So my router bit was not wanting to cooperate, so we are going old school with a Dremel. A little carbide bit here, about halfway through. The piece of tape there is my guidelines. Go super slow, kind of cut across it, and then this is the slot for our T-molding. Alright, so there is the completed control panel minus ball tops. I gotta find some white ball tops. I was gonna do a red and a blue one, but I think, you know, kind of looks like their heads are ball tops or close to it, so I'm gonna use white ones for that. I have started taking the cab apart. We're gonna pull the speaker panel out. I'm gonna pull the T-molding out. I'm gonna go ahead and start sanding some of the rough edges. Pull the coin door out and get that ready for some paint as well. So the teardown process has begun. Chrissy's coming up. We're gonna go ahead and paint this beast. Let it sit overnight before we do side art and things like that. But I'm going to pull this T-molding out, pull the coin door out, pull everything out that needs to be out so we can paint this, sand that bottom edge a bit, that medium bottom edge there as well. Do some body filler here where the old lockdown bar was. So I'm going to start pulling this beast down and getting it ready, and then later on I'll be wiring the control panel. Alright, so the cab is stripped. We got a little bit of Bondo trying to cover up some holes. This is just drying right now. I'm going to have to do another little dab there to fill that hole in. But a couple little dings in the cab we're going to just try to tighten up a little bit before we paint. And then that's it. So, got a bunch of body work ahead of us. Take some more pictures right before we start painting. Alright, so we got Chrissy up here making the cab look good. She's hard to see because of light, but she is doing all the Bondo sanding here on the front. Got this side done. She's working on that side to try to make it as smooth as possible. It's looking good. I'm out there cutting the back door for the cab to make it complete. So, still doing tear down. Gonna have to run to Lowe's to grab some paint. But this cab should be painted tonight. Alright, cab has been cleaned. We have it up on little risers there. We're gonna go ahead and paint the sides of this beast and the front and the top and the whole thing basically. We also need to paint the back door I just cut, as well as the speaker panel before I put the fabric over it. So we're gonna go ahead and mix up this paint that we just picked up. I think I got full gloss.
Just says gloss.
Yeah, full gloss, black oil-based paint. It's gonna be pretty sweet. All right, so we got some paint popping on there. You can already see the difference, how shiny and like it actually looks black versus gray. Little tray here. Some paint going on there. Where those nicely sanded Bondo spots. Good job, Buff.
Welcome.
She's doing this. We will pick this back up once more of the cab. Oh, it's so satisfying to watch. It just turned black. Pick this up once more of the cab is black. Alright, first coat of paint on. It's super shiny, which is awesome, but also bad because I didn't sand the sides of the cab fully, so you'll see a bunch of little indents, but it's fine. It's a little beater cab for CupHead, so. Got that painted. Got the speaker panel, which is MDF, soaking up a bunch of paint now. I got this side painted here, which you can kind of see is still very, very wet. See the shine on it though. Got the back door out there, drying. So we're just waiting for some paint to dry, and we will be doing more. So we're wrapping up today. It'll be the end of this video. Still see some rough spots here on the inside, but Kirsty's gonna come up tomorrow and put on another coat. I don't know if it picks up in the camera how shiny it is. In hindsight, I wish I had a little bit more time to kind of go through. You can see some of the little dents and dings in the cab, but once it's dry, that should tone down a little bit, and we'll put our side art on there. But got the main cab painted, tightened up, no more lockdown bar holes in the front, which is kind of cool and nice. So got this all painted up. We have a back door now on the game. Look at this. Kind of hard to tell, but full-on back door in the game, so it's a solid cab. Remember, little breather holes for the Xbox. But this is going to do it for today's video. So I'm going to head home and actually make these freaking wiring harnesses I've been putting off because I don't want to do them. But thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you guys will be at Free Play Florida this weekend.